But they look good. Donovan Mitchell looks good. Darius Garland got himself a little bit hurt. They are off tonight, and then the Cavs, they're off tomorrow night too. Cavs are in Chicago to play the Bulls. That's an 8 o'clock tip-off at the United Center on Saturday. And you'll hear it here, of course, on WMMS. We've got, who we have for the Bulls? We got Zach LaVine. Lonzo Ball we have, but I think he's hurt.
Yeah, he's hurt.
We got DeMar DeRozan right now.
Mm-hmm.
We got Andre Drummond, I think, is on the Bulls now.
Mm.
He used to date my good friend Jeanette McCurdy.
Oh, yo.
Is Lauri Markkanen still with the Cavs?
No, he got traded in the the Donovan Mitchell trade.
Oh, he did?
I believe.
So he went to the Jazz?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we had him for a while. we had a good time with Lauri Markkanen in Chicago. Javonte Green plays for the Bulls. So we'll see what happens. But Cavs, Bulls, Saturday night at Chicago, 8 o'clock here on The Buzzard. You can always leave us messages. For those of you who do listen to the show on the iHeartRadio app, let me know if you do that from out of state. Cole listens in Juneau, Alaska. Lucas is our bureau chief in Portland, Maine. Brandon is in Orlando. Christopher listens in Kirkland, Washington. You just leave us messages there if you like.
Alan, you're actually incorrect. Mel Blanc died in Cedars-Sinai Hospital, not Dead Man's Curve.
What?
Oh, the internet gave me the wrong information.
Well, no, I was going to say I'd never heard that he died. He did get into an accident at Dead Man's Curve. That's not what killed him.
All right.
He sued the city of Los Angeles for $500,000. He died from emphysema at Cedars-Sinai, whoever that person is. Thank you. Mel Blanc started smoking cigarettes when he was 9 years old. That'll do it. And he continued his pack-a-day habit until 77. Think about that.
Who cares then? That's a good long life, especially for
that
when
is
he
a
was
long
born.
life, yes.
He did great.
Start when you're 9, smoke to 77. So 77 minus 9. Okay, so don't tell me. So 77. Well, let's say if you took away 10, that would be 67. And then if you were, carry the 2. So 68 years old, or 68 years is how long this guy smoked.
Wait, what?
Right?
If
he started...
Did you add 2?
Hold on. What? I said carry the 2.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So this guy smoked for 68 years. Holy cats. You know what his headstone says? That's all, folks. He's buried in the Hollywood Forever Cemetery, Section 13, Plot 149. It's got the Jewish star, the Star of David on his headstone. And it says, man of 1,000 voices, beloved husband and father. He died in 1989. But, boy, think about that. Oh, Grandpa's been smoking a long time. How long? Since he was 9. He was shooting a commercial, and he had a really bad cough. And his family checked him into Cedars-Sinai, and they said that they thought he would recover. But when he was in there, the doctors discovered that his heart was not going to make it. So he had been in the hospital for 2 months, and he died.
But he smoked for 68 years.
Yes.
He wins.
This guy
he had a voice acting career that entire, not the entire time, but for decades that was very lucrative, which didn't even get damaged by the smoking.
Yeah.
This is what
every lifelong smoker is hoping to hear.
Yeah.
It can be done. What I'm trying to say is, if you die from emphysema or lung cancer, you're just not working hard enough.
You probably were going to get it anyway.
Pull yourself up by your bootstraps and live through lung cancer.
Pull yourself up by your bootstraps.
Brought on by. I remember remember the movie Strange Brew?
Yes.
Mel Blanc was their dad.
Right.
You only heard
but
their
you
dad.
didn't see him.
No, it was just the voice.
He was doing basically a Yosemite Sam.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because Rick Moranis was like, we're going to make this movie. I love Mel Blanc. Can we get Mel Blanc? And then, His final recording session was for Jetsons the movie, which came out a year after he died.
My younger brother loved that movie.
Jetsons the movie?
Yeah.
I remember it being out. I remember it being on the shelves at my Blockbuster Video that I managed, but I never saw the movie.
My brother loved that movie to the point where we all hated it so much because he would watch
he watched it on a loop.
When he was a little kid. I mean, he was probably 3 or 4, and he would just watch that movie again and again and again.
Was there a movie that you drove your family crazy with when you were a kid?
No, because I don't think that was quite the time. When I was a little kid, we had a VCR, but I wasn't allowed to touch it.
Oh, I see.
By the time he was born, he's 7 years younger than me, and we had several VCRs at that point.
So it wasn't like,
So
Mom, can I put this movie in and watch it?
Right.
You couldn't do that.
I just don't remember doing that. I remember being like whatever was on. Also, I was closer in age to my older brothers, so whatever they were watching is usually what I would watch.
By default.
I didn't really get to choose what I wanted to watch at any time. It was like, well, whatever's on is what we're going to watch, because I was the middle child and had no pull. Yeah, and I was born in Berea. In that house, I don't think we had VHS yet. I think we got our first VHS player when we moved to Strongsville. And
So whatever was on the TV is what you guys watched.
Yeah, and I don't think we had cable yet either. I also don't remember watching that much TV when I was that young.
No, I didn't either because we didn't have cable.
Yeah.
We had 3 channels, and we could get...
We'd watch Saturday morning cartoons.
We had 3 channels and PBS is what we had.
When we moved to Medina, that's when we started... Like, that's where my memories of watching things that were taped or on tape come from, is when we moved to Medina, and that was when my brother was a baby. We moved there in 89. So that's when I was like, okay, now I can actually watch some of the stuff that I want. But we didn't have a huge Disney collection yet either.
And Poundcake wasn't driving his mom crazy because she was asleep.
Yeah, and we weren't buying a bunch of stuff. It was all stuff that was taped off of TV.
I was raised by television because my mother was asleep.
Right.
It was no fault of her own. She did that.
No, I understand what I'm just saying she wasn't around to like get driven crazy by whatever you were watching. She wasn't awake.
She wasn't awake, and Disney movies, out of everything that we watched, was the best influence on us. Like, I went through phases where I had a favorite Disney movie. Like, my brother's favorite Disney movie, and it has not changed. It was The Lion King. That was my brother. Mine was Aladdin, but there was a phase, I think it was probably the gay phase, when I watched The Little Mermaid.
Wait, gay phase?
The gay phase? You haven't left your gay phase.
When I started realizing, I think I might be homosexual, because I literally watched The Little Mermaid every single day.
I see.
But I was watching Aladdin because I liked the music better. It was a better storyline.
It was funnier.
Yeah, probably.
Aladdin's much funnier than Little Mermaid.
Yeah.
Little Mermaid's got like 4 jokes.
But Aladdin had...
in Aladdin, you got the genie, which was just, it was Robin Williams.
And I was attracted to Aladdin's voice. Like, Aladdin's voice was hot. And then when I was actually 14 and went to Disney World, I saw the actual Aladdin. I was like, oh, my God.
Aladdin had jokes because it was Robin Williams, right?
Yeah.
Thanks, Genie.
Oh, Al, I'm getting kind of fond of you, kid. Not that I want to pick out curtains or anything.
I thought the Earth wasn't supposed to move until the honeymoon.
Yeah, Earth wasn't supposed to. That's for the adults.
Yeah.
Like, I get it.
Did you watch Full House growing up, Poundcake?
Brother did. But anything that you probably watched, my brother probably watched, but I didn't get into Cosby Show. I didn't get into Full House.
Well, the reason I brought up
Family
Full
Matters.
Young
House
for that.
I brought up Full House because that was the DJ's boyfriend for a few seasons was this dude named Steve, and that was Aladdin's speaking voice. Then they had a different person do his singing voice, but that was his speaking voice.
Well, let me find it, because I don't. Do you know
The actor's name, I don't. I just know him as Steve from...
Scott Winger?
That sounds right.
Winger, yeah.
Winger. Let me give you some money here. It's $1,000 as promised. About 30 past every hour, you got a shot to win. You can go fund yourself. There's a cool 1K right here for you. Good luck.
The Buzzard wants you to go fund yourself and score $1,000. Enter the nationwide keyword deposit at WMMS.com. That's deposit. Enter it now at WMMS.com. And good luck from Buzzard Radio.
Alan, if Mel Blanc smoked a pack a day, he smoked 24,820 packs of cigarettes, or 496,400 cigarettes. Imagine smoking almost 500,000 cigarettes and still living into your 70s.
Yeah.
Because we don't know what else he was doing. Maybe he was running 10 miles a day.
Maybe he was drinking the blood of children.
Maybe
to stay
he
young.
was...
That's how you stay young.
maybe he was... I don't know.
I finished The Watcher. And
Thoughts?
It was a fun series. Like, it was
okay.
It was pretty intense. It wasn't the best
Naomi
thing.
Watts, man, looks great.
Oh, yeah.
She's like in her mid-50s.
Yeah.
She's cute.
But, I mean, I thought they were all good performances.
Yeah.
And I knew the story beforehand, so I knew we weren't going to get a
Right.
spoiler alert.
Yep.
But, yeah, I was okay with the ending. I thought it was fun.
But I kept telling Gwen, if you do remember that story, they created so much extra for this dramatization.
Well, they had to, because
That's what I'm
otherwise
saying,
it's
because
it's
getting
a
letters to your
30-minute
house.
episode.
Yeah, getting letters to your house is not a scary miniseries.
Yeah.
But I thought I think that's the complaint people had, is that initial story was so creepy that when they did a dramatization of it, you're like, okay, how are they going to figure this out? I guess the real family, they had two requests, and one was that they not use their name for the family. So they gave the family another name. And I guess the real family, like, had a third kid. And so they were like, please don't, like, replicate our family.
Well, they also never even moved in.
Right.
So
They were
that's
renovating
also-
the whole time.
That's not a very good show either. It's like, this house we're renovating is
Yeah.
being watched. Do we live there? No.
Oh, we're getting. This is a miniseries about people who got scary mail
Yeah.
at their new house.
I'd also be pretty immune to The Watcher because I am so bad about opening my mail. Like, The Watcher would send me a letter and be like, I'm watching you. The young blood's in the house. I hope it. Are they afraid to go in the basement? And it would take 6 months before I open this letter and then be like, huh.
Yeah, they'd pile up.
I'd be like,
Yeah.
oh, who's this weirdo? Right.
Except all mail now is like junk mail. It can go right in the garbage.
That's what I'm saying. Like, that's when I get my mail, I pay all my bills online. All I get is junk mail, and then, like, every once in a while I'll get something like a invite to a wedding or a thank you card or something. But even when I get that, I'm like, don't send me paper mail. I hate it. I hate it.
I went up to the mailbox at my place the other day, and we have a new downstairs neighbor, and she has a Zoom camera. What is it called? A ring
camera.
Mm.
And I tell you what, I feel a lot safer knowing that she has one of those, because I step up on my porch. It said, woohoo, recording. It was like, I was like, damn, bitch, I'm grabbing my mail on my side of the house.
Oh, she said it to tell people it's recording.
It said, woohoo, recording, and it turns red, and it's just like,
Really?
Yep, and it watches you. As I turned, like, I was like, I don't want it all up in my face, because it's right underneath my mailbox.
I just have it when I wired ours in, because you can get them wireless, but I wired ours into our doorbell. So the doorbell doesn't ring anymore. I removed our old doorbell because it would drive our dog bananas. So now anytime anybody hits the doorbell, which is very infrequently, it's just Alexa going, someone's at the door. But you can go on the app and, like, look at any time. And the deep, dark secret, by the way, of this surveillance society that we've created for ourselves is nothing's happening. Nothing is outside your house, ever, ever, ever. You can go through days of footage. Nothing's happening. Unless you live, like, on a street where there's some stuff going down. But for most people, they're like,
my street's
like, my
questionable.
brother lives in this really nice house in a really nice neighborhood, and he has got cameras on every corner of his house. He has one of those
He's
huge...
got the haunted curtains.
No, the other brother.
Oh, other brother. Okay.
He's got this huge, in his basement, he has, like, his big screen with all of the black and white frames. So all of his cameras views are on one screen. Nothing ever happens.
I have a camera in my, like, I guess, like, the entryway, so I can check on my dog during the day.
Well, yeah, people
And
go...
all she's doing is laying there.
Right, but that's like a nanny cam. Yeah. But people are like, well, you're going to be happy you have it if something happens. Yes, but that's how they sell them to you.
Mhm.
Right. I bought one.
Our building has cameras,
Right.
though.
I bought one specifically so that I could just put something else in place of a doorbell so my dog wouldn't go crazy. But I don't need a camera at my front door.
I was offended. I was like, damn, bitch, I'm just getting my mail. And it was like, woohoo, recording.
Well, listen, she's letting people know. I get that. It's a little silly, but I get it.
Yeah.
That's so people don't steal crap off the porch.
Which, again, it makes me feel safe because I was like, I'm not going to buy one because I don't own
And it's
the
probably
bottom
her
portion.
voice pre-recorded, right?
No, it's a voice. It's not her voice.
So they think it's the
the
person
standard ring
inside.
one, yeah.
Okay.
Woohoo, recording. And it turns red, and the little camera follows you. I can see like the little eye following me as like I'm like breaking contact with it. I'm like, I don't like that.
All right. Well, something's going on there.
Alan, I thought Blade with Wesley Snipes was the first Marvel movie. Wasn't Blade a Marvel character? Just saying. Hate the show.
What
Bye.
were we talking about?
I don't know what we're
Bye.
talking about. That,
Oh, because we were
No,
talking
we
about
the
Harrison
MCU.
Ford.
All right, yeah.
Blade was not a Marvel Cinematic Universe
Right.
character.
There's
It was a Marvel character, yes.
the Marvel character made into a movie, but the first Marvel Cinematic Universe was Iron Man, then Incredible Hulk.
That's when
Iron
everything
Man
kind of crossed
2,
streams and all that
Thor.
stuff. Right.
Yeah,
So Blade, yes, was a Marvel character. That was late 90s, but that was not part of the...
because they also, just after that, did the X-Men, which are also, and then Spider-Man wasn't long after that.
Right.
So there was Marvel movies, but we're talking about the Marvel Cinematic
Marvel
Universe.
Cinematic
Duh.
Universe. Speaking of Blade, I love this guy in Florida who was a naked guy wearing just a cowboy hat and his fingernails were painted, attacks a woman on a bicycle with a machete. A guy whose name is Roberto Hercules
Whoa.
was completely naked, wearing just a cowboy hat, and a woman just riding her bicycle, and he asks if she has a pipe. And she goes, I don't have a pipe. What I don't understand is she jumped off her bicycle while he chased her.
You were
And
on a bike.
You're
You were
on
doing good.
2 wheels.
You were winning.
Continued to strike her with a machete on the head and left arm, leaving her with a fractured skull, a brain bleed, a broken arm, and a laceration on her left hand. The cops found the guy. He was inside one of the homeless tents in this particular part of town. He was still completely naked, but there were a couple of other cowboy hats inside the tent. He said he wanted to get shot, but eventually complied with the cops. So Roberto Hercules, looking for a fix. But if you're on a bike, how do you get... I could see him maybe getting you one time out of surprise, but then when you realize what's going on, you get the hell out of there. You're on wheels. I got to take a break here. If you want to text 35192 to get me there, AlanCoxShow.com. You can watch live. And you can listen wherever on the iHeartRadio app.
The Alan Cox Show. On 100.7 WMMS.
The Buzzard cannot save you from the beating.